Hi guys, now that we have created this particular ISO, Arcana, based on Arch, with Arch ISO, plain vanilla thing, not so plain, but you'll see, super F7, when we just remove everything and start from scratch, that's maybe best idea. Template, right mouse click, clone it, call it whatever you like. You can fork my project, I'm calling it Arcana. Put in the ISO, Arcana out, that's the date, that's the date. Okay, select run. So this looks familiar for all those guys that have been installing Arch Linux for years. Enter. I did yesterday the speech. Oh my god, right? That was not a good idea. It actually reads everything that pops up on the screen, even when installing. So, all you need to remember to install a fully Arch Linux Xfce 4, that's it, is ALIS. So I'm not gonna load keys, BE, Latin, etc. That's the cue for me. So no AZERTY keyboard needed. ALIS, that's it, Alice. And then you have a comment here. It says, do you want to get the last GitHub code in? Internet required, will overwrite anything you may have changed. Great, which means you build an ISO and then you put some altered codes online for Alice and you say yes, and it comes in, right? You don't have to rebuild the ISO. You can use this ISO for months, but still update the Alice code all the time. So if you say yes, it's actually going to override everything that we have, and Alice is new, but of course there was no change, so everything stays the same. Shall we start Alice script? Yes. If this doesn't make sense, all the videos about Ariser are exactly the same thing. So all the knowledge is already on there, and it's called ariser.eu, and I've put the playlist underneath here in the YouTube video. A long list of 20-30 videos, I think, something like that. So what happens, this Alice script from Pico, there's an installation script and there is a configuration. So parameters, I'd like to have Xfce, or I like to have Btrfs, or I like to have SDM, or I like to have LightDM. All of that, all the decision making that normally you do in either Calamares or anything else, or the wiki way of doing things, right? The Arch Linux guide. It's all about making decisions, and all these decisions have been made. They're all in the folder Alice, and it reads. The script looks at the config. I told him I want to have the mirrors for Sweden, for Norway, and I think from Belgium as well. So he's going to look for the best servers, and he's going to install everything. And what we're going to have is still very basic Arch system. Xfce is there to have something. I believe LightDM is here instead of SDM, like we do on Kiro, or we did on Arcalix. And I'd like Firefox to be there, so a browser immediately when we come out there, when we reboot. So several things, several packages that I say, I need to have that straight away. But it could be a real pure Arch as well, no browser at all. But what's the fun in that? Often you need to go to the internet. Right? So look at this line here. Country, Sweden, Norway, Netherlands, not Belgium, but Netherlands. So to the north of Belgium there is the Netherlands. And I see indeed there is here an L in there. So we're gonna look, where do we get the packages? What packages do we install? Mesa is coming in. Linux headers are coming in. Quite heavy with the Linux kernel. Yes, I play around, dabble around with Xenmod and all that, and Zen. For me, right, my hardware, no difference. So the last 10 years, basically 95% of the time I've been on the standard Linux kernel, even though I can build my personal kernels for my personal CPUs and what, right? All you want is that it boots up and does its thing. Root grep is coming in. So as you see, you have these blue lines, so basically some kind of function that's gonna be run or not, right? Yes, or basically often true or false. Run it or don't run it. And I think this is yay. So Go needs to be installed. Yeah, it's yay. And as you see, the yay debug is there, so something you need to change. By default, it's like that on Arch, right? Don't really like it, but okay. So that's for later. Sublime Text, NeoFetch, Xfce, all things I like to have straight out of the box. So I've defined it in the ls scripts. I want to have that. There is a difference between the official ls from Pico. It seems that he wants to stop installing applications, so I pressed escape just to make a quick reboot. And I do want to have some applications. Now this may happen, right? Also on a real metal machine. I've installed this also on real metal with an NVIDIA card, by the way. It wants to run or start again from the ISO. So stop, tell him that he wants to reboot, not with this one, but with the actual hard disk. And on a real metal machine, you have to sometimes go to the BIOS, so a way to go to the configuration of your motherboard, and tell him you have to start with the UEFI partition, right? With a particular partition, otherwise it can't start. So remember that as just basic Linux knowledge. So this is what we have. That's all we need. Let's boot up and show you what you get, and that's of course up to you what else you want. So this is it, the Wayland session, Xfce session, and the default Xfce. You've seen it 1,000 times, and that's it, right? But not really. So I did make some decisions for me. This is a personalized system, so Melt is there, Sublime Text is there. I have Firefox already, right? And all the rest is pretty standard, except I think it was NeoFetch and Xfce, things that I like to have there as well, to make a quick screenshot showing you what an Arch, right? Voila, that ends the video. So basically we have the basis, a platform to work upon, but I don't have a lot of software, right? I need to type a lot of sudo pacman -s, and I don't like repetitive work, so you make a script, and that's for the next video. Let's make this a perfect OS.